The 3 deepest ways of loving. So there are 3 ways that are the most fundamental ways that we love each other. One of them is that we love in a way that we might call self-preserving. The second is we might love in a way that's called social. And the third is we might love in a way that's called sexual. So let me describe those 3 ways of loving. The first one, when I love you, I take care of you. If we're in a relationship, I literally take care of you. And the way I show you love is to do something for you. If you're sick, I provide you with tissues. If you're hungry, I feed you. I try to make you lovely dinners. I try to make sure that when you go out, you'll be able to be with the elements. So I love you in a way that is self-preserving. So when I make you the dinner, I'm saying I love you. The second way is what we call social. And social says, when I do activities with you, when I take you to parties, when I invite you into my social group, I'm saying I love you. And the third way is called sexual. And sexual really is about connecting. And so when I'm saying I love you in a what's called the sexual or connecting way, it's called the sexual subtype, what I will do is I will try to connect very deeply and intensely with you as a way of saying I love you. Now, there's a few things to say about this. The first one is that we can get into all kinds of difficulties when we love somebody who is of a different, what we call, different instinctual drive. The biggest difference is if someone who is what's called a social type and someone who are called a sexual type love each other. So if those two go to a party, the social type will be saying, I'm taking you to the party and let's, play the room together separately, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about that experience, or we'll do some activity together that, is a fun activity where we're doing it with a lot of other people. Or if I'm going to marry you, for example, and I'm going to propose to you, I'm going to have, 15, my 15 best friends in the room next to us, and it's going to be a surprise party or something. Whereas if I'm, of course, a sexual subtype and you take me to a party, I want us to be fully connected. It's like we would go together because we are a couple. We are a we in some way, shape, or form. So you can only imagine the difficulties that happen when sexual subtypes or sexual people with their first instinctual drive being sexual get together with people whose first instinctual drive is social. Because the way they say they love each other is entirely different. And of course, both of those are entirely different from someone whose way of saying I love you is through preserving. What we then have to realize is if we want to love someone who has a different instinctual drive than us, we have to find a way to say, I will meet you in what's fundamental for you. And in order to do that, we have to face our fears. And we're going to talk about those next.